We have learned that Moon doesn't have atmosphere. But man called Ingo Swann claims that there is. He used his remote viewing on Moon to see that there is patterns that look like are made by wind. He also saw tracks that seems like they are made by tractor. He also saw something else. Alien bases. In 1972, Ingo Swann is sitting in the room in the facility of American Society of Psychical Research. He was supposed to tell symbols inside the sealed box. But he said that it's dark in there so he cannot see any symbols. Researcher opens the box, only to find that light source was not working. Stanford Research Institute has many remote viewing places around the world, so obviously they were interested about Ingo Swann's abilities. They wanted Ingo Swann to project himself to the planet Jupiter, because NASA probe was to its way there in 1973. So they can later confirm what he tells. He saw many things in Jupiter, like violent hurricane storms and ice crystals on the atmosphere. By the way, did you know that these hurricanes are bigger than Earth? Ingo Swann also saw things that scientists didn't even know back then, like rings on Jupiter. According to him, these rings are just like on Saturn, but smaller and closer to planet. He said it is mainly made by dust and little asteroids. They are so thin that we can't see it with telescopes, but probe confirmed this fact in 1979. This is mind-blowing, so I guess you are not surprised if I tell you that CIA got interested about him. One day he got call from the United States, and told to go to the Washington, D.C., and visit the Museum of Nature History, and there stand near the elephant, in the central rotunda, at noon. So he goes there, and right on time, men in black came to him, giving card saying, "Please, do not speak, this is for my safety, as well as yours. Please, follow me." So they go to the car, and there another man give him card, "Don't speak, we will search you for listening devices." After that, they give him another card saying, "We have projects suited for your talent. Are you comfortable in helicopter?" He nods, and then he gets blindfolded. They ride for a while in car, then in helicopter, finally landed in secret location near the Washington, D.C. They take elevator to the underground base, where he is finally allowed to look around. Kindly man introduces himself as Mr. Axelrod, and tells to Ingo that he's in safe place, and then gives him cigar, which is his favorite brand. How did Axelrod knew that? Men then sit down and Mr. Axelrod makes his proposal about remote viewing on Moon. Ingo asks why, and Axelrod then reminds him to not ask anything. So he starts his mission on the surface of the Moon.
I am not this body in terms of consciousness, and consciousness can go places where the body cannot.
And it has very distinct features of a satellite dish. It's got the dish itself, the crater shape, it's got a long spike that appears to come out of the middle, all sorts of stuff that looks exactly like a satellite dish on Earth looks.
Axelrod has coordinates, where he wants Ingo to look at. In some coordinates, there's nothing noteful, but others are interesting. He used his remote viewing on Moon to see that there is patterns that look like are made by wind. He also saw tracks that seems like they are made by tractor. He moves to one crater that has green haze. Something creates light there. And that light is diffused. Light can't scatter without atmosphere. He moves closer and describes structure that looks like an airfield. There's towers and streets. It seems that over some craters, there is bridges. Then he sees some lights in rainbow colors. He moves closer, and see domes with windows. He moves closer, right up to windows, and see green mist inside. He also described humanoid figures. There is going on some weird activity. Then, suddenly, one by one, they stop. Then moves to look at that window, where Ingo stands. Then he says, "I think they see me." Axelrod then calmly orders Ingo to abort the mission. Ingo transfers his mind back, and slowly opens his eyes. He asks Axelrod, "You already knew they are psychics, don't you?" Axelrod takes deep breath and says, "The mission is over."
Neil and Buzz were on the lunar surface. Neil switched to the medical channel and spoke directly with the chief medical officer, saying, "They're here, they're parked on the side of the crater, they're watching us."
After 6 months after Moon mission was over, and Ingo Swann left Washington, D.C. While in grocery shopping, he saw a woman, who he describes to be the most beautiful woman he have ever seen. She was wearing bikinis and high heels. But then suddenly he has weird feeling, that this woman isn't human. He turned around and then saw agents from the Moon Project, then he panics and run away. Later that day, he gets a call from CIA and told to immediately go to the New York. And there go to Grand Central Station next morning and wait for contact. Of course he goes, and there he sees that same agent from grocery store standing near the payphone. Payphones start ringing. It's Mr. Axelrod. He wants to know all details about the woman. But Ingo Swann tells that he has never seen that woman before. Axelrod tells that she is dangerous, so Swann should stay away from her. After a year, Ingo goes to his office and sees text "expect contact" written in dust on his office table. His office was locked and nobody else knew PIN code to open the door. After a couple of days, Swann is heading to cafeteria and sees Mr. Axelrod. Axelrod asks if Swann could be away for 3 or 4 days. Swann of course agrees and asks where they are going. Axelrod then smiles and asks, "Have you never seen an UFO?"
That NBC keep it sound outer spacey, doesn't it? Do you hear that whistling sound?
Now I think it's better to just tell long story short, because this goes way over to my mind. So they go to Alaska, and their drives for hours, then hikes for an hour to wait to see UFO. My question here is, why does they travel hours to see UFO, if whole point is remote viewing? Comment if you believe they saw UFO there, because I don't think so. What else here is true? Well, Ingo Swann himself told that his success rate is at 65% at best. It's confirmed that many things he saw was correct, many of them wasn't. NASA says they have took pictures from the moon, also from the dark side, but not all of them are publicly available. Then there's that woman, well, maybe she was an alien, but just Russian spy. We know then, in Cold War at 1970s, there was many Russian spies in United States. Comment down below what you think. Do you think remote viewing is possible? We can, and we should know about these stories. Regarding are these true or not? Right now we have so bad state of free speech. We can't say that one particular terrorist country isn't going to win their brutal war against citizens in Donbass. And we can't say that moon landing is faked. Or that we just had faked pandemic that took our freedom and health. In case you have story you want me to cover, hit us with comments. Thanks for watching this video today. This is channel where we like to see what conspiracy theories and mysteries are out there. If you like this video, remember to push subscribe with notification bell to join my live streams in the future. That's completely free, now and always. If you have some topics you want me to cover, just throw me with comments. Push the like and share this content with your grandpa. Until next time, take your tin foils, and we see you in the next video.
Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way? Sun is out.